Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is MDEVAAN. Thank you so much for dropping by and if you'd like to see how I got to the thumbnail on this video, please keep watching. I'm using local rice today and I will be making native jollof rice, and I'll be using our Nigerian local rice to achieve this. I can't even remember the name of this rice. It was a gift and it has been very nice, and there's no stones, nothing. You just have to wash very well. Which is what you're going to see me doing over and over. Now you have the option of just parboiling your rice straight without all of this, but this is how I like to cook my rice. I like to wash it totally until the water is clear and then pour it into hot boiling water. Now you need to remember that when you're parboiling rice, your rice should not get too soft. I think I have a video on this already. Your rice should not get too soft. The aim is just to remove the starchy content and then you are done. So you're going to let this boil just for a few minutes and then take it off and wash it. Now, some people do not wash after the initial wash. I'm extra. So yeah, just leave me like that. So you let that boil and then you take it out. Now we're making native jollof rice, which involves frying our local spices first before doing any other thing. So I'm using palm oil today, one of my favorite oils to use when I'm cooking. When you're using palm oil, you need to bleach it. Bleaching it just means leaving it to smoke for a while, and then it goes from the thick liquid content to a very light smoky content. Now, if you live in an area where you have smoke detectors and all, I would advise you leave this on the fire. Once it gets really smoky, cover it and take it out so that it doesn't disturb your alarm or your neighbors. The first thing we're going to do is pour in onions, which I already did. Fry our onions very well. Fry pepper and fry tomatoes. Tomatoes are very optional for this recipe. I just needed to give the rice some some color, and I didn't want to use any artificial additive. So I fried tomatoes, peppers, and onions very well. You need to fry that super dry, and I didn't want to add the oil, so I had to be very careful. And I fried this on super low heat. If you can, food on low heat is always better. There's no need to rush and all of that. But if you can't do that, but with food prep, you should be able to do slow cooking. The next thing I'm going to add is our iru, our locust bean. In Tiv land it's called nune. Yoruba call it iru. I'm not sure of the other names that other tribes call it, but it's a very like pungent spice. It has a very strong smell. I was even recently watching this program on satellite TV. How did they do it? And Iru was one of the spices mentioned as one of the most pungent foods in the world. Pungent, yes. Proud, I was so proud. I don't think I've been that proud of Iru being mentioned on air for being pungent. So I added a little bit of crayfish, and because my stew was super thick, I added a little bit of oil. And then I'm going to add sardines. Now the thing with native jollof is you want to build your spice, you want to build the flavor of your rice as much as possible. So you can use different meats, different textures of meats, different types of meats. This is what I had available in the house, and I really wanted to do a mix with sardines, which is why I used sardines. I used sardines and I used a bit of smoked meat, the heart of the heart the heart of a cow, so that's beef. So basically I've put in crayfish. I'm not sure I mentioned that, but I'm sure you saw me doing that. I put in ground crayfish, I put in sardines, and then I put in beef. And after that I'm just spicing with curry, garlic. You know my basic spices, guys. Curry, garlic, I put in a little bit of oregano. I know it's native jollof rice, but I just wanted that flavor as well. A little bit of thyme, salt, dried pepper, and then I'm going to add water and just let this cook lightly. Remember, if you have a question, you can always leave it in the comment section. I try to reply all questions, private and general. My Instagram accounts are all on there, so Instagram accounts, Facebook accounts, my email is there. I respond to all email. If I've been getting a lot of emails about spices, I've responded to all of them. If I've not responded to a message, please let me know. The next thing we're going to do is add dried fish, because we don't have enough meat yet. We're going to add dried fish. I made dried fish pepper soup. So I'm putting in a little bit of the stock and also one of the fishes. So we're just going to break this down totally in the rice. The point is just to have as much variety as possible in this stock before we add our rice. I let that steam for a little bit and then I'm adding the rice right now. Our rice parboiled nicely. It wasn't strong, like it's not like totally strong, and it wasn't soft. It still has a little bit of crunch to it. So now I'm just going to mix this in. You do not want your water to be too much, especially when it comes to native rice. You don't want it soggy. It just takes the joy out of it. So you don't want to add a lot of water. Make sure that your stock is just enough to lightly cover the rice. Let it steam slowly if you can, on low heat. If not, keep watching it because of the palm oil, so that it doesn't dry up and start burning. Immediately this was done, I added boiled eggs. The boiled eggs were already overcooked, which is why I didn't even add them earlier. So once I noticed that the rice was done, I added boiled eggs to it. Point of note, don't add your boiled eggs too early if you still want to mix your rice, because you're going to just scatter your boiled eggs into it. But it turned out for me as a very happy error and I enjoyed it. The last thing I'm going to put in is our vegetables. As you guys know, I usually cut some of my vegetables and freeze them. So that's where I got these vegetables from, my vegetables and my raw onions, because the rice is super hot. The steam is going to cook it, and the spice of the rice, everything is just going to be you guys, the way this rice smells, it's just like, as in, the rice is just announcing everywhere. If you've made native jollof rice, you know what I mean. And if you're trying this out, if you're going along with the recipe and trying it out, then you really understand what I'm talking about. The aroma announces the meal. It's crazy. It's so nice. I totally enjoyed making this recipe, guys. So please, please, please hit the subscribe button, share this video with your friends. I had power issues when I was filming, so I ended up using my husband's phone to film some parts, and that's why you notice different lightings in the, in the rice things at the end. Thank you so much for watching. This is the finished product. It was super delicious. Hit the subscribe button, please share this video. I love you. Please try this recipe. Mwah.